Friday morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good. I'm going to Tampa this weekend. Going to see some family.
You got the spray tan going on.
Look at that. It's looking all sorts of tan right now.
Yeah, I laid out in the sun for a total of 0 seconds. I just covered myself in some bronzing foam yesterday. Is it looking better? Are we on the up and up? This is a new time or a new brand.
Yes, you do not look borderline problematic.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking it easy.
That is the goal. That's always the goal.
I was telling Abby as I walked in here this morning, she's saying she was traveling this weekend, and I didn't know this, and I haven't read the entire story, and maybe we'll have a meteorologist on later on, but there's a huge storm that's starting in the Midwest. Like, it's a crazy big, like 1.5 million square miles or something, that is bringing all sorts of crap with it.
Yeah, there's like a threat of winds up to 60 to 70 miles an hour, tornado watch, which I'm on the up and up with this because I live in a trailer, and what do tornadoes love? Trailers. We've all seen Twister. But yeah, it's supposed to be really, really high winds this weekend.
And it's like starting in the Midwest, but by Sunday, I think it could be hitting the East Coast, and you'd be in Tampa at that point. So you might want to watch that one.
Well, if I get stuck in Tampa, then I will literally be stuck in hell on earth. So. Things are looking great.
That'll mean we will be sleeping downstairs this weekend.
Yeah.
Because we have so many, we're in an old neighborhood and there's so many really super tall old pine trees.
Yeah.
And obviously they sway for a reason so they don't break. But and Jimmy's room is upstairs, so it's just safer for all of us to sleep downstairs.
I think you're in a higher tax bracket neighborhood, so I think they've organized it to where the wind goes around your neighborhood.
They do that for Fulton County?
Yeah, you won't have to worry about that.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
but then literally 1 block away.
They're not paying as much. Okay. So they got to watch out.
That's impressive that they can do that just within a block of each other.
Government's behind it, but we'll talk about it later.
Neat.
Okay. Mo, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. One day at a time. Happy it's Friday. Hanging in there.
Amen to that.
Hey, and your hair looks really good today.
Thank you.
You
Appreciate
got a cut, didn't
I
you?
did. Fresh cut.
Looking
Look,
sweet.
spray tan.
Looking sweet.
New man. Got to talk to me different today.
I will tell you why I am feeling good this morning as we talk about our 1 week assignment now on sleep, right? Kristen, Jackson, and I have really been trying to improve our sleep, and the first thing you can do is turn your electronics off an hour before you go to sleep. I wish I would have saved the audio of the reel that I sent you guys yesterday with Amy Schumer, who's going through the exact same thing that the three of us are, and she does this skit where she's talking to a doctor about it, and she's complaining about her sleep, and the doctor's like, well, the best thing that you can do is you can turn your electronics off an hour before you go to sleep, and everybody in the room is like, no. What else can we do?
Can't do that. Give us another solution to our problem.
So I sort of have an incomplete on our assignment from last night because Hollis had a soccer game last night. Dude crushed last night. Had a hat trick last night.
What?
Yeah, man. In like the first half, he kicked ass. So I got home a little bit late, and it's just one of those days where I was just exhausted, just tired, exhausted, and didn't need anything. I went to bed and went right to sleep. I didn't need to turn electronics off because one of the rare times where I just got in bed and fell asleep within 15 minutes. And then I woke up this morning, and for the first time in weeks, I got like a 98 sleep score last night.
Oh my God.
Good for you.
That just doesn't happen for me. I usually am somewhere in the 60s or 70s because of light sleep, and I never get that deep sleep. And I wish I could say, maybe I just have to stay out later at night.
I didn't know the number went up that high. I've never even seen it close to that.
Oh, yeah, you get 100.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So I'm at a 98, but I got an incomplete on our assignment because I didn't have to turn electronics off.
No, but that still counts. The fact that you came home and you didn't feel the need to have to turn them on, you still get an A for that.
It wasn't feel the need. It was physically incapable.
Well, you
I was so tired.
I would take the points.
take the win, bro.
Take the win.
Take the win.
Yeah, take the win, man.
How did you guys do?
I did well with the electronics, but terrible with the sleep. I mean, I use it as so much of a crutch to help me fall asleep because it kind of distracts my brain from going crazy at night. So last night I had it down at 9:30. I was in bed for an hour, leading into what was hopefully going to be a 10:30 sleep. And it took me a long time to fall asleep because of how much I didn't have the distraction there.
What I'm realizing is once I put my phone down at 9 and I was doing something and I did a thing where I was like, oh, what time is it? And I looked and it was 8:59. And I was like, all right, whatever I was doing, done. So I put the phone down and I was finishing up an episode of White Lotus. And when I put that phone down and I watch TV for a little bit, I catch I'll start yawning more. I'm just tired. Because a lot of times I multitask, but I use that term loosely because I honestly don't know how to. But I'll have my laptop open, I'll have my phone in my hand, and I'll have the TV on. So then it's like blue light times 3. So 9 times out of 10 at night, if I'm watching TV, I have my phone in my hand.
Right.
Because if the show sucks, then I'm going to do something on my phone. And then you miss something good and you have to rewind, and then you do that 4 times. It's a cruel cycle. But putting my phone down and just watching TV, like once I felt tired, I was like, why am I forcing this? Like, just turn the TV off and go to bed. And I did.
It's like we're toddlers that want to stay up for nothing.
Yeah.
That's 1,000% what it feels like.
What do toddlers think is going on when we put them to bed? Like, there's this crazy party. Hey, it's Jimmy's gone to sleep party, and it's happening downstairs.
We're eating all the ice cream and all the chocolate bunnies and all the gummy bears.
Man, are you missing out?
It's almost like you don't have. This happened to me last night. I could not put the phone down. I was on TikTok and I kept telling myself 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I literally physically could not put it down. It's like my brain wouldn't let me override it. It's addictive.
Very.
Simple creatures. Okay, so we're done with this week?
Yeah.
Have we learned anything?
No. Let me go ahead and answer that for you.
have.
Jackson hasn't. I think y'all got better. Jackson.
And you're the one that came in with the problem.
I know.
You got worse.
I think I got worse, actually. Yeah.
All right, Tommy is not here this morning. It is his day off, so we probably should have just not done plead the fifth.
Whatever. You're not getting out of it, Bert.
But it's my day, and we're going next level here, right?
Yeah, we decided to do listener edition because we have been providing each other with anonymous plead the fifth questions for quite some time now. We used to do this and we took a break and now we brought it back. And to be honest, I'm just tapped out of questions. So let's ask the listeners. And that's what we did. And I have no doubt that you guys came up with some doozies for us.
All right, so Katie has the questions and I'm in the hot seat today. Since I got such a great high score on sleep last night, I am ready.
All right.
Okay.
Now, I want to say that it was a collaborative effort from our producer, Rebecca, and Tommy to pick these questions, okay? So don't take them out on me
Okay.
when you hear them.
You're just the messenger.
I'm just the messenger today.
All right, bring it. Bring it.
All right. So the first question, Bert. If you had to dock someone on the Bert Show's pay to give someone else a raise, who would you dock from and who would you give it to?
That is a weird question.
It's oddly specific.
It's a good one. Did Jackson submit this?
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't we say that staff members weren't asking questions? Who would I dock? And was the second part of it, who would I give it to or just who would I dock?
Yeah, who would you dock from and who would you give it to?
Yeah.
First of all, that should be 2 questions. Okay,
It
they
should
got a little
be.
greedy.
They did.
Okay, I'll tell you who it is. It's Kristen. Because she's not an employee of mine. She's the only one on the show that is a Cumulus employee. So I will take her cash and give it to my employees.
All of them?
Well, how much are you willing to give?
None. I know my worth.
No, it said dock. It didn't say completely take away. So.
Exactly. I know my worth. What I get paid is what I'm worth.
Hey, I'm sorry. Somebody has to sacrifice for the rest of the show, and it's unfortunately you chose to be a Cumulus employee.
That is totally fine. You're taking mine, but you have to pick one person to give it to.
Let's see. Who would be?
You're essentially deciding who on the show gets a raise.
Everyone stare at Bert really hard.
Well,
I was already doing it.
I'm avoiding eye contact.
I'm going over to my mind who's well paid for the industry and thinking, okay, who could use a bump? And I would probably say, I
feel like this might be one of the hardest questions you've gotten.
Yes.
It's a good one.
It is.
Gosh.
You know you can plead the fifth.
Not on this
first
first
one,
one, man.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
The three that I'm...
Three.
It's either Katie, Rebecca, or Jackson. I mean, they all do so much other stuff.
It can only be one.
Yeah. And I can't remember what everybody's making right now, so I don't know who's making least. So I'm going to go with Rebecca.
All right.
Okay? I'll go with Rebecca.
Deserved.
Too bad you ain't getting it.
All right, so the next question. This listener said they know it was asked a lot back in the day, and you claim you're not going to do it. But since Abby loves her nose job so much, did it ever make you reconsider doing yours?
No, I admired you doing it, and I kind of wish that I would have done it years and years and years ago, but it didn't at this point in my career, and I've got somebody that doesn't care. Amanda doesn't care. And at this point in my career, it wouldn't do me any good. And it's not like it's really affecting my self-esteem. Only when I look at our videos and I'm looking to the left and I see that profile, and that's literally all I can see, but not to a point where I want to get surgery for it.
All right.
I mean, Abby's out there, man. She's fighting in the wild for guys.
Yeah, I needed it.
Yeah, I need that right now.
You have someone who loves you.
Yes, imagine that. For me, even.
Yes.
All right, on to the third question. Who from the Bert Show youth group would you make a co-host before anyone else?
Wow.
Abby, you're part of the youth group.
She's already a co-host.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
I would have tried it too.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think Jackson.
He did good with Ethan yesterday.
Yeah. I think Jackson.
All right.
I think he's got the chops.
You've made it halfway through. Just 2 more questions.
Because it feels like it's been 20.
It really has.
That first one really threw me.
All right. Bert, have you ever had a naughty dream about anyone on the show?
I have.
They didn't ask who.
Okay.
What is wrong with
There
you?
you go.
Why are you defending him? That would have been gold content.
Thank you.
Because I don't want to know if it was me.
No, okay, that's fair. You're sparing yourself the nightmare.
All right. Yes, I have.
All right.
Tommy's gonna be so disappointed.
Tommy was here. You know what the next question
He
would
would
be.
never let that go. Never. But we know what's coming the next time I do this.
Yep, exactly. All right, Bert, you made it to the last question.
Okay.
So keep in mind, in this question, you cannot pick yourself. If you had to vote someone off the island, who would you pick between the options of Kristen, Mo, Abby, or Cassie?
Vote off the show? Or island? What do you mean island?
It says island. I don't interpret it.
I
how
think
you
it's
would.
like a Survivor play on words, but I think it means show.
I feel like we get this question every week, but it's reworded in just a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
but now it's reworded so he can't just pick the part-timers.
But you know what I can do? Nope, not messing with the chemistry on this show. Whoever sent that one up. So you're going to find out if you have psychic abilities this weekend, huh?
I've always kind of wondered if I'm a little clairvoyant because I've had some reoccurring dreams in my life that have actually proven to have some kind of meaning. Just as like time has gone on, like those dreams have revealed themselves to mean something. And I recently had a dream a couple of weeks ago that I didn't think anything of when I had it, but after some news I got from my mom's side of the family, I think it might actually be telling me something.
Do tell.
So this time last year, I was the maid of honor at my cousin's wedding. She is the cousin on my mom's side of the family. It was a very, very fun wedding. I knew she was going to have kids pretty soon. And she recently announced that she's having a baby. So I'm going down to Tampa this weekend because we're doing the gender reveal. And I think I know the gender of the baby based off of a dream that I had. So here's my dream resume. I have a lot of recurring dreams that sometimes I don't think much of. So there's one recurring dream that I've had where I show up to math class and there's a test and I freak out because I've skipped math class for some reason the entire semester. And I'm like, well, maybe that's just guilt that I had because I did miss a test once in college and I'm just having like recurring dreams of like freaking out about having to ask the professor to take the test again. But then I keep having this recurring dream that I'm getting married and I'm walking down the aisle and I know it's to the wrong person. And it's always the same wedding venue. And I'd never seen the wedding venue before until I was scrolling down my For You page, my Instagram feed one day, and I saw the wedding venue. I'm like, that place is real? I've only seen that in my head before. And what's weird is it's in the same city as where my dad plays golf. And so it's like theoretically a place I could get married if I wanted to like do a favor for my dad and get married where he golfs or whatever. Anyway, very, very weird. And then I had this dream, and this is where things get complicated. About my cousin's baby. Oh, and I forgot about the dream that I had before my Meemaw died. So before my Meemaw died, we didn't know she was going to pass away. She was sick. She was battling cancer. And a couple months before that, I had this dream that my teeth were falling out. And if you Google what that means, it's like a superstition that means somebody in your life is about to die. I didn't think much of it because I was like, that's weird. I grind my teeth a lot, so that doesn't really mean anything. And then a couple months later, my Meemaw passed away. And that's when I was like, I think I might be a little dreamvoyant.
Dreamvoyant.
So a couple weeks ago, I'm having a dream, and this is where things get a little confusing. I'm having this dream, and I'm having a dream about my dad's side of the family. So up until now, I've only been talking about my mom's side of the family. It's my cousin. She's pregnant. But on my dad's side of the family, I have an older cousin who has a daughter who I think is maybe 13 or 14. And her name is Peyton. So I'm having this dream about my dad's side of the family that we don't really have much of a relationship with it anymore. So it's kind of weird that I'm having this dream to begin with. And we're sitting in their kitchen, and I'm sitting with my cousin, and I'm sitting with her daughter, Peyton. And we're talking about her name for some reason. I'm like, this is so weird. I haven't seen Peyton since she was a baby. I haven't seen that side of the family in forever. We like don't have a relationship, but we're talking about her name. I'm like, this is so random. And I haven't had like a clear dream in a long time because I don't sleep very well because, weird hours. So I wake up from that dream. I don't really think anything of it, but it was so vivid that it was stuck in my brain. And so then a couple weeks later, I find out that my cousin, Allie, is pregnant. And I'm like, that's crazy. We knew this was going to happen. Very exciting. And then we start talking about baby names. And the only name they threw out there, that they want to name their child because it's kind of gender neutral?
Say it.
Peyton. Is that not the weirdest thing ever?
Because you dreamt the name.
Because I dreamt about the name before I knew she was pregnant. And they want to name it Peyton. If it's a boy, they now have a girl name. But I'm like, I think that I found out that she's having a boy before I even knew she was pregnant.
So you think because they chose Peyton for the boy name,
yes,
and that because you dreamed about Peyton,
yes,
that they are going to have a boy.
That they are going to have a boy. So I'm wearing a blue dress to the gender reveal. I'm walking in, flags ablazing, saying, I knew before all you losers. I knew that she was pregnant before all you guys. I knew that she was having a boy before all you guys. But if she ends up having a girl, I'm going to be like, well, actually, my girl cousin had a girl, and we were just talking about Peyton, her name Peyton, but she's actually a girl, so actually I knew it was a girl the whole time.
Yeah, because how you can decipher the dream differently. Like it's your cousin is Peyton, but she's a girl, so maybe that means like they chose Peyton for the boy name, but because Peyton's a girl in your dream, it really means she's going to have a girl.
Yeah, so really I'm winning either way. Okay. I'm still wearing blue though.
That's the best kind. Okay.
But isn't that weird?
We'll see you on Monday.
We will.
All right, so everybody has $1 million idea in them. At least that is a cliche. And our producers, Jackson and Mikey, think they have yet another one. And when they come on and they present to us, they call it Stank Tank.
So here's how this works, everyone. Stank Tank, as Bert so eloquently phrased it, is our idea and rendition of the show Shark Tank, where we think of a general theme for problems and we come up with our $1 million, maybe not so $1 million ideas on how we can solve problems in that field.
All right.
Okay? This week, we're going to be tackling all things related to technology, computers, your phones, anything related to that. I left it kind of open-ended just to see where we would land on this, and we didn't collaborate on these, so the ideas are probably going to be varying quite a bit.
Have you guys ever come up with an idea and then Googled it and gone, oh, it's already been done?
All the time.
Yes.
Me too. I've had those.
I know. Yeah, where I think that this might take it to being a millionaire, and then it's already been done.
I really thought years ago I had this brilliant idea to have a glow-in-the-dark pacifier in the crib so a kid could just because they can't find it in the middle of the night and they start crying and stuff. And if it glows in the dark, they could just reach for it. And there were like 50 of them out there.
Or I always think of a really good idea and then I'm like, man, where would I even begin to get this manufactured? And then that's where the idea just sits as an idea,
Yeah.
So this week, again, we're going about tech issues. We're both going to pitch our ideas, and then you all, as the Stanks, no longer the Sharks, but the Stanks, will be voting on who you'd rather invest in.
Okay.
Got it. Mikey's going to start us first.
Hello, Stanks. I am seeking either a sizable investment into my company or anger management counseling, because if you're like me and have destroyed your MacBook Air because you got blown up by a creeper in Minecraft, you either need therapy or Smashables. Smashables are a new cutting-edge genre of technology that is designed for the short-tempered. Listen, I don't know about you, but I can speak for myself and most stubborn men over 60 when I say computers suck. Nothing ever works exactly how you want it to work when you really need it to work. Now, it's important to clarify that this is a different breed of anger issues that presents zero red flags whatsoever and are completely rational. When you're too ignorant and impatient to work alongside today's complex technology, all you want to do is smash it. Well, now you can with Smashables, tech made to be smashed.
I like your slogan.
Sometimes, when the contestants on The Price is Right guess a number so stupid that you have no choice but to throw your remote at the wall, you're justified. Who would think that an Auto Ignite Series 545 digital charcoal grill and smoker would cost $1,000? Well, now you don't have to pick up little pieces of remote while your wife quietly stirs a pot in disappointment with her life choices. With Smashables, tech made to be smashed. Smashables, tech made to be smashed.
Very good. Very good. So do we go around the room now or do we wait?
No, we wait.
All right.
You guys hear me out, and then we go around and vote.
Yeah, we're not. It's not that we have to fight against each other. Who's going to get Mikey? We just have to choose which one we want.
All right. Stanks.
Wow, that was
impressive. Really stank. I am here seeking a barrel of Cheez-Its and a tub of Pokemon cards in exchange for a dream. What is this dream? The dream of only occasionally being annoyed by elderly people about their computer problems instead of constantly. Okay? And I'm here to turn this dream into reality. And I need you guys to hear me out on this one because this one's less of a product and more of a grand idea, a concept, if you will. So I am introducing the tech support draft. Just like with the military draft, every single person must enlist in the tech draft when they turn 18. Okay?
The tech draft?
Yes, this is the tech draft. When you turn 18, you are required by law to join this, okay? It's a mandatory enlistment, and your eligibility lasts for 2 years, where you are now considered to be on call, okay? So now, anyone who is over the age of 65 can call our hotline, and whenever they have a tech issue, it'll ring one random youngin' who has been drafted, and they will help you through your problem.
I think if anybody understands how bad of an idea the draft is, it's the elderly.
With this revolutionary new idea, we can say goodbye to embarrassing congressmen and women asking dumb questions to tech CEOs, and now we can say hello to a brighter future of less annoying questions, okay? So join me in the tech support draft. It's basically socialism, but for tech issues.
Very good. But two strong candidates today.
Very solid.
Abby, would you like to go first?
Yeah, absolutely not, Jackson. I'm standing with the survivors of the Vietnam War, and I'm going with Mikey. Smashables.
Mo, what do you got?
As a man who has played PlayStation for many years and been frustrated quite often, give me Smashables.
How many controllers have you gone through?
Probably about 5.
Kristen?
I have been able to restrain my anger and my rage. Typically, I just flip off my electronic when I'm very upset at it. However, I'm a woman going through perimenopause, and the rage has hit a new level, and I would love to attempt to destroy a piece of technology. So, sorry, Jackson, I'm going to pass on the draft, but I'm giving my vote to Smashables.
Cassie, would you like in on this?
I would, and I'm picking Jackson because this actually really does have legs with a couple of tweaks, and I think you can make a lot of money off it.
Here we go.
As a guy that has literally smashed a TV before when his football team didn't do well in the playoffs and had to buy another TV, I got to tell you, I'm going with Smashables.
I did good.
Congratulations. Thousands of dollars, man.
What does that say about us as a group?
A lot.
I'm mad this morning. In fact, you might say I'm uber mad because my anger is directed at Uber, and I'm taking you guys down with me. All right?
Okay.
I would like you all to take out your phones right now. Okay, Cassie, you want to get in on this too? Mo, especially because you use Uber more than anybody else in here.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of I can only think of one time where I was sure that I got out of an Uber that I was getting a 1 star. And it wasn't my fault. It was Kristen's fault.
Huh?
We were all in an Uber. I think Mo was there also. I can't remember the exact trip. Where were we where everybody was kind of buzzed in the Uber? And I think, Abby, you were there also, and you were messing with some dude on...
We were in San Diego.
It was San Diego.
So me, Cassie, and Abby were in the back.
Yeah, we were all buzzed. Right? We were at a convention in San Diego.
We were sending that guy who liked to spearfish voice message. We were sending two guys voice messages.
Yeah.
Or no, we sent them videos.
We sent them videos. So Cassie and I were living vicariously through Abby on her Hinge, I think it was.
No, it was Bumble.
Oh, on Bumble. And we were swiping through guys, or Abby was swiping through guys, and we were like, yes, no. And then we came across Spearfish Dude. So we were just cutting really stupid videos and sending to him, and we thought we were hilarious.
God, you guys were so loud.
It was active back there.
It was.
Yeah, Mo and I were looking at each other like, good God almighty, is this what it's like with a van filled with women all the time, right?
Yes.
And I walked out of there knowing, you could see the annoyance on the driver's face. I knew we were going to get a 1 star, and it was on my account. So I knew it, right?
No, there's no way an Uber driver is going to give you a 1 star because 3 women in the back seat were being a little loud. Nobody vomited. Nobody what?
We didn't get rowdy.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
No, we
I don't
were
think
like
y'all heard y'all.
giggling and having fun. We weren't like throwing drinks and doing dangerous stuff.
We never spilled anything.
Well, it's like an artist, sometimes you interpret annoyance differently. And I walked out of there just knowing I was going to have a 1 star. Anyway, so here's why I'm uber mad this morning. It turns out I have more than one 1-star rating on Uber. And there is an easy way for all of us right now to find out not only what our rating is, but how many 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars,
Really?
4 stars, and 5 stars.
I don't
that we
use
have.
Uber. I
You
use Lyft for the Sky Miles.
I use Lyft too.
Oh, you do?
Is it the same?
No, because this is just for settings in Uber.
Okay.
So you guys will be out on this.
Well,
Yeah.
I have used Uber though, so I think I can still do it.
Okay, so here are your directions.
Did you know there's a way to find out how many 1-star reviews you've received from Uber drivers? Well, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to ruin your day. Let's go. Open your Uber app and go to settings, click privacy, get your butt over to privacy center. And it's going to say, would you like to see a summary of how you use Uber? And you're just going to yeah, I want to see that summary, but I don't, but I do. And then you scroll down to ratings. And then when you're ready, click view my ratings. And then it will show you a snapshot of your reviews of your last 500 rides, and you'll see how many. I've never met one person. I do this all the time in a bar, all the time on a first date. I've never seen one person who doesn't have at least 3 1 stars.
Okay, and that one came from Emma Gribben on Instagram. So let me give you the instructions again. Settings, privacy, see summary, ratings. Okay? We all there?
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right. Settings.
Oh, there it is.
Privacy, see summary, and then I think the first thing that comes up is ratings. All right. So for me, my overall rating was a 4.73, 5 stars, 228 5 stars, 4 stars, 17, 3 stars, 10, 2 stars, 2, 1 star, 7.
What? 7?
Damn.
7.
You a rebel.
4 1 stars.
Hold up.
You got 4 1
I
stars.
got 4 1 stars too. You gave me 1 star, man. I don't even talk.
I have no 1 stars.
No
scared.
1 stars.
I've got an overall 4.89.
Dang, you
That's
goody
crazy.
goody.
I got a 4.79 overall with
Well, then you got some. You must have some 2s and 3s up in that piece too.
I got 143 5s, but then I got 3 4s, 4 3s, 2 2s, and 4 1s.
Okay, I have a 4.87 overall. I have 475 stars, 15 4 stars, 5 3 stars, 1 2 stars, and 9 1-star reviews. To be fair, I was in college not that long ago. I have had people throw up in my cars.
How old are you?
27.
Uh-huh. And when did you graduate from college?
5 years ago. Yeah. Okay, but also they're the early 20s.
Okay, again, all of our earned rider rating. I have a 4.85. Who's got the highest?
I think Abby.
Abby,
Yeah.
4.89.
Yeah, she's higher than me.
All right. Mine was a 4.73.
I got a 4.79.
This is such human nature here that you could take a look at your 5 stars, which were 228, but I'm really obsessed with the 1 stars. I can't think of a second 1-star ride that I've had, except you guys messing me up. I had 7 clearly very drunk Uber rides.
I'm actually upset. I want to know how I got 4 1 stars. I don't even talk. Like I'll be back there doing nothing.
Right.
Why do I get a 1 star?
Maybe they were in a bad mood that day.
I guess
Maybe you
so.
were louder than you thought. You were breathing too loud.
I was breathing.
I wish we could see the date. I want to contest it.
I want to know what the ride was. Okay, again, so if you guys want to do this, Uber, go to settings, privacy, see summary, and then ratings, and it'll tell you how many 1 stars. It'll also tell you how many 5 stars, but you're going to be obsessed by how many 1 stars you get. All right, so we got an email here we need to chew on before we get into the entertainment buzz in a couple of minutes, and it has everything to do with backing out of the wedding. Kristen's got the email.
I do have the email, but I'm still really upset about my 5 or my 4 1 stars.
You're reeling right now. Chances are pretty good. You're out with the girls, you're drinking, and you got the Uber, you were all buzzed, and you don't remember it.
All right, here is the email from our Bert Show listener. Hey guys, I'm writing to you in hope of some advice. My sister's getting married this year in October, and she asked me to be the maid of honor. She decided she wanted to do a weekend trip to the beach for her bachelorette party. In total, there are 6 girls going, or at least there was. Turns out one of the bridesmaids just found out she's pregnant, and her due date is basically the weekend of the trip. So needless to say, she's decided she's not going. The problem is that I have already paid for the Airbnb and provided everyone's fair share of the cost. So now that there's only 5 of us going, the share from the bridesmaid who can't attend has to be made up somewhere. I know being the maid of honor means I have more responsibilities and I will probably pay more than the rest of the bridesmaids. But at the same time, I feel like I shouldn't just have to make up the cost difference myself. The tricky part is that I can't just talk to the other bridesmaids about splitting the cost because the pregnancy is still a secret. Of course, I know the expecting mom should decide when she wants to share the news, but I'm afraid if this sits on the back burner, then I will end up getting stuck with the extra cost, over $200. What should I do? Do you think she should still pay her share since she stated multiple times before all of this that she was definitely going? Or should I just suck it up and cover the cost? Thanks in advance for your advice.
Oof. What you got, Mo?
Honestly, what I would do is I wouldn't reveal that she's pregnant. I don't see why you can't just say she can't come for whatever reason that she can't come. It's her business. She just can't make it. And I would ask if everybody is willing to chip in because she can't make it. And if they are, great. If they're not, it's my sister. I would probably just eat it.
Yeah, why do we have this need to explain whys to people when you really don't? I think I learned this a while ago. Your answer is your answer. You don't owe anybody an explanation. I'm with Mo.
Well, if you're getting charged an extra $200, $250, I would want a little bit of an explanation. Am I going to go to bat for it and be like, why isn't she coming? Where is she going? No, but I do think you owe people a little bit, especially when you're getting these charges that you weren't necessarily expecting. I may be a 23-year-old girl who just graduated from college and was only budgeting $150, and now all of a sudden it's $250. Where is that coming from? But I think what you should do is ask the group first if you can all split the cost, and if not, maybe suggest to the bridesmaid, say, hey, why don't you make this your wedding gift to the bride by paying for your share of the bachelorette weekend and just not getting them the KitchenAid stand mixer they were asking for on the registry.
So I think the reason why is important in this instance because I think the girls will be more apt to chip in once they know the reason why. Like, she's pregnant, and it's like she's basically having the baby the weekend that they're going on the bachelorette trip. So I would ask the pregnant bridesmaid, hey, at what point are you going to go public with your news? Because I want to ask the other girls to help cover your costs. Totally understand. This is not to make you feel bad. I think everybody will happily chip in. I just need to know when I can hit them up. And because I do think that you're going to end up getting the money because of that reason why.
I got to be honest with you. I couldn't really focus on this email because I'm still upset about these 7 1 stars.
Me both.
It was back in my head. I was trying to, as you guys were reading, I'm like, what could possibly have been the second and third one?
I'm sitting here thinking I always put my lady in the lift, and maybe she's the one that got the stuff. I gotta make a phone call when we done.
This has the possibility to be a very wild weekend for our youth group as we send them to Savannah for St. Patrick's Day on the St. Patty's Shenanigan Showdown. So if we're going to send them to Savannah and we're paying for everything, they have to pay us back in content. So we have created a contest for them. Take it from here.
All right. So we have created the St. Patty's Shenanigan Showdown with the youth group. Every day this week, we have given them a set of shenanigans that they must complete for points. This is a point system. Whoever comes back on Monday, St. Patrick's Day, and has the most points will be the winner of $1,000. $1,000.
Okay, now to these guys, $1,000 is like $1 million to you guys listening because they all broke. Broke. All right? So $1,000 is that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money on the line for you guys to have a good time and just kick up the shenanigans. But in true Bert Show form, there's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser.
You got to work for it.
So the person who comes in with the least amount of points from over the weekend will get painted green Monday during the show and will have to live green for the rest of the week till Friday. We will wash it off Friday during the show. But you got to live your life
What you
as
mean
a
we
goblin.
will wash it off? No, we won't. You're on your own.
I'm going home.
I'm just
You
curious.
get the lower half.
I'm just curious as you look at your calendars for next week, okay? You come in here on Monday and you lose. What is already on your schedules next week that you would have to show up to green?
I have my uncle's retirement party next week.
Oh, no.
So that wouldn't be good.
That's great. Okay, Rebecca.
I have a therapy appointment.
You're going to need it.
You're gonna need
So
it.
what brings you in today?
I work in an office with people in suits.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I can see
he's
it.
over on the sales side of the
but
building.
but they know you're part of
Yeah.
the show, so they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's just radio goofiness.
Yeah.
Amber?
Yeah, I have a dentist appointment.
Okay. All right, so the stakes are high.
The stakes are high. So, Abby, what were the first set of shenanigans that we gave our youth group to accomplish 4 points?
So on Wednesday, we started off strong by telling them the first one on the list is that they have to make out with another member of the youth group for 100 points, which really sucks because 2 of the 4 of them are in relationships. The second one is
3? Did you say 3?
Katie.
Oh,
you keep forgetting about
Is
Katie.
Katie involved
That's
too?
right. Katie's going too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, 3.
You're not getting out of this one.
The second one on the list is they have to get a drunk tattoo and or piercing for 100 points. And the third one is they have to do a TikTok with a cop.
All right, and then the next day on Thursday, we came up with 3 more shenanigans. And the first one is to jump into a green or a non-green fountain, as long as it's a fountain with water, because we want y'all to be safe. That's 100 points. If you're not comfortable hooking up with each other, then you have the opportunity to hook up with a stranger. That is another 100 points. And lastly, you can get up on stage at the strip club that Amber used to work at to round it up for another 100 points.
And I also want to suggest this, that if you can't find a fountain to jump into, that the river is really a bad option.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say an alternate. And I was like, no.
E. coli.
Drowning.
I wasn't worried about E. coli.
They're going to vomit from the alcohol. I'm worried about death.
Got it. My bad.
All right, so these are the last set right here before we send you guys on your way.
Youth group, here is your last set of shenanigans. All right, your last set. For 100 points, do an announcement on an artist stage. Now, we're going to clarify here. This can't be walking into a bar, grabbing a karaoke mic, and being like, hey, I'm Michael from the Bert Show.
Where's my pot of gold?
That's not going to fly. They will probably have stages set up for live musical performances around like the main area that Savannah is throwing this St. Patty's celebration. So you see a professional stage that is set up with somebody performing. You must go up and you can either talk your way into it or you can crash the stage. Doesn't matter. But as long as you grab that mic and make some sort of stage announcement, you will secure 100 points.
Can a stripper stage be a
No.
darn it?
No.
They are performers.
Now, we'll give you a little. I will give you a little help here. Savannah is one of the great cities in America that has canceled the Bert Show. So you could very well just they won't know it. Just say, hey, I'm from the Bert Show. I can't even remember what state. Get a radio station in your head and go, hey, I'm Jackson from the Bert Show, and I'm here to make the announcement, and jump on stage.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to print some fake media passes.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so now we're moving into fraud. You could just wear a Bert Show t-shirt.
Your next option for 100 points is do 1 hour worth of busking. Have a tip jar out there on the street. You can either sing, you can play a music instrument, you can do a St. Patty's confessional. Whatever you do, you can pretend like you're a psychic. You can do tarot card readings. We don't care what you do as long as you busk for 1 hour and try to acquire some tips. That'll get you 100 points.
Wait, so you can only do it for an hour?
You do longer than an hour if you
So
want to.
if I did it for 10 hours, do I get 1,000 points?
You get 100 points.
Yeah.
All right.
Overachieving is not rewarded here.
As a sidebar, I am today's years old when I heard the word busking.
Okay, I thought it was a white thing. I didn't know what that was.
What is it?
Well, I hear it a lot in the UK. I think it's a more European phrase, but it's like if you see somebody in the subway and they have like their guitar out, open their guitar case, and people are throwing money in it and they're performing, that's called busking.
Okay, I just thought it was called street performing.
I heard that in panhandling. Yeah.
Okay.
I think, panhandling is a little more of a derogatory term, so that's why we use busking instead.
We have to evolve.
Well, busk away.
All right, and then you have streaking for 100 points.
Know that
So if anybody, you know what that one is. If anybody wants to strip down and go streaking, you are more than welcome to do that. But there is a game over button. All right. There is one thing you can do, and you will become the automatic winner of the St. Patty's Shenanigan Showdown. And that is get arrested. What? Now here
we go.
it depends on the infraction, of course. Because you might win, but you can also lose your job. So be careful of the infraction. Dude, if they commit murder in Savannah, we're not going to keep them on.
You really think that was an option?
I don't think any of them are capable of homicide.
I don't know. Mikey's got a mean streak.
Yeah, it could be Mikey.
So, do they have to actually get arrested and booked in, or can they get a cop to put some handcuffs on them?
You gotta get arrested.
This is arrested, official arrest. Now, what if there's a tie and two people get arrested? So, how do we break this tie? Who has the worst offense?
Well, whoever has to serve the most time.
Okay.
Are y'all covering bail for us?
Yes, I will cover bail. Sure.
That's a Bert. Don't look at me.
Okay.
Of course, depending on how much it is.
You're going to win money, so you can use that for the bail.
That's foul.
All right, so that's the absolute game over. So if
Game
one of you
over.
guys is so far behind on the competition and you don't want to go to the dentist green, then get your ass arrested. All right.
That's it.
Okay, there it is.
How we feeling, youth group?
Bad. I am terrified of jail. I don't want to do this.
I won't be able to make it until tomorrow, so I'm going to have some points to catch up on.
Yes,
So,
you are.
Arrest might be in my future.
I'm going to be naked running down River Street.
Abby, what is ye old gossip and what's coming up here in about 60 seconds or so?
We're going to be talking about the American woman responsible for changing the line of succession in the royal family. And no, it is not Meghan Markle or Meghan Sussex, whatever.
I am so proud of my son for checking me last night. He sure did. I was so proud of him. So he had a soccer match last night, and it wasn't the amount of goals he scored. He scored 3 goals last night, which was great.
Hat trick, baby.
Really, really, really great. All right. But he has been playing so well this year, and he tweaked his attitude on it about, I guess, last season. He was putting so much pressure on himself to do really, really well. He's a lot like his mom and dad in this area where there's a lot of pressure, man. We want to be, if we're going to do something, damn it, we're going to be good at it, right? So he wasn't living up to his own expectations, and he started putting so much pressure on himself that he wasn't enjoying the game anymore, right? So we had a bunch of talks to him with him about it, and he decided some time ago that, look, I'm probably not going to the MLS. I'm probably not playing for Liverpool or Tottenham or whatever, right? So I am just going to start having fun. And I'm like, my man, I've been telling you that for 3 years, dude. You are so in your head about it. Just let it rip and have a really, really good time. So this season, he has taken the pressure off of himself, and he has done just that. He's like a different soccer player now. I am filled with so much pride watching him play and the improvement that he has made. Only because he has done it on his own, really. Like, not that his skills have gotten a whole bunch better, even though they have. Just that he has an awareness on the field now when he's controlling things, and he's very vocal on there also. I'm filled with so much pride that he's doing so well. And at this point, in the very early point of the season, he's leading his team in goals, and he's just looking like a different kid when he's out there. So he comes off the pitch last night, and his mom and I were there, and I was so incredibly proud of him, and I hugged him, and I said, I just want to let you know how much joy I am getting watching you play and watching your improvements, right? And then I said the thing that he checked me on. I said, you're getting to a point where I'm going to start suggesting that when you go to UNG, you walk on and play soccer. And he stopped me in my tracks. And he said, that's not my goal. And if I start thinking that way, I'm going to put too much pressure on myself and I'm not going to enjoy the season.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Dang it. He was right.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, what's next? Forget about like what's happening right now and the success of what's happening now. I was brought up like, okay, what's next? You got this. Let's not celebrate it. Let's just move on. And this kid, you always want your kids, the next generation, to be better than you, right? And I really felt in that moment, my dude got it. Like, this has been a struggle for me my entire life. And this kid at 18 years old checked me last night and he gets it.
That's dope.
Yeah,
He's-
man.
He's playing with a lightness about him, letting the game come to him. And here you go trying to put the pressure right
That's
back on.
exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. All right, ye old gossip.
Yeah, because before there was Meghan Sussex, there was a woman named Wallis Simpson. She was the woman who turned the British monarchy upside down because she was bored. And her lover, King Edward, who put the simp in Simpson. So the year... You did not. I did. The year is 1931, and Wallis, she is living in London with her second husband when she meets Edward, Prince of Wales. And when Edward sees her, he's like, oh my God, this broad is everything I could ever want. Need a piece of that. And Wallis was like, he's a guy, but he's the King of England. So fast forward another 3 years, and she's still married, but Edward is like obsessed with her. He has a major crush on her. He's like, this girl's a baddie. And he's so enthralled with her that he is showering her with gifts and writing her letters that probably say something like, Wallis, dear, I know we're about to enter World War II in 5 years, but the real war is happening in my heart. And I'm sure you're thinking, wow, how tragic. You finally find the love of your life, and now you can't be with them because the man has one job, to be king. And you would kind of F it up because you're married and an American. But we're not talking about true love for Wallis because this woman had a whole roster. Edward's in love with her. He's got like a pinup poster of her ankles on his wall. And she, because ankles were very scandalous back in the day. That's why I made the joke. And aside from the husband that she had at home, she's also fooling around with multiple men, including a car salesman. And there's nothing wrong with selling cars, but why would you date the guy selling a Bentley when you could date the guy getting driven around in one? So 3 years later, her relationship with the king is basically an open secret. And she gets King Eddie to give up an entire empire because the coochie was, and I quote, just that good. So Wallis ends up getting divorced for the third time, which is already very scandalous back in that day. And the older royals know what's coming next. They're like, this woman is not hot enough for you to ruin centuries of rules and tradition by marrying this American divorcee. First of all, she's not British. Second of all, she's divorced 3 times. And third of all, our genes are already fighting years of inbreeding, and we simply cannot let her pass on her eyebrows to the next generation of royals. They were sick. And you got to choose your job or you got to choose your woman. So King Eddie, he ends up throwing a hissy fit. He stomps his feet and he slams the door of his very expensive room in Buckingham Palace, and he writes in his diary. He goes, this family is so unfair. No one understands me. I'm going to run away and I'm never going to see them again. And it turns out he manifested that exact future because he slides into Wallis's DMs and he's like, Wallis, my dear, wouldn't it be crazy if we ran away? And she, probably in the bed of another man, filing her nails, is like, yeah, so crazy. We totally should. And he's like, wait, really? And she's like, wait, no, you're gonna get cut off. No, like, don't call your mom. And he's like, well, if you really think we should run away together. And so he ends up slamming his phone down. He unsubscribes from Only Flappers and he gets on national television. And he's like, you know what? And Edward was a lot of things. He was a simp, a lover boy, unqualified for any job in the real world, but he was a man of his word. So he puts in his 2 weeks at his job and he quits for a woman who was arguably indifferent about him.
When you say put in his 2 weeks at his job, you mean he abdicated the throne.
That's what I meant.
He stepped down as King of England so he could pursue Wallis.
Same difference.
Okay.
Puts his 2 weeks in. Okay.
So he puts in his 2 weeks in. Wallace is like, we shouldn't have done this, but whatever. So Eddie whisks her off to France. And this is a rude awakening for Wallace, who is simply girl boss too close to the sun at this point. She's like, I just wanted a couple of free nights out and some clout on Wikipedia for dating this man who's the king. So they end up going to France, end up getting married, but they are exiled to France, which sounds fun because you're like, oh my God, the south of France. But it's fun until you realize everyone in the UK hates you and you can't go back. And you're stuck in France with the French, who also hate you because they're French, and the French hate everybody. And if it wasn't bad enough to leave your entire family for a woman who is simply just tolerating you, Wallace is supposedly adding to her roster because she starts having an affair, allegedly, with the Nazi German ambassador. And Eddie's family back in the UK is like, it's one thing for her to be busted and a salute, but now she's sleeping and sympathizing with the Nazis. Like, this is where we draw the line. So they end up banishing them to the Bahamas, where they didn't really get to drink daiquiris and hang out at Atlantis all day because he was made governor and they had to do all this work. And then they end up eventually moving back to France with the French who hate them. And moral of the story is Wallis Simpson ended up blowing up the entire royal line of succession because she felt like it, but she did secure the bag, her place in history, and made the British monarchy slightly less bland than their national delicacy, beans on toast.
Well, and we otherwise never would have got Queen Elizabeth.
I know. Thank you for that gift, Wallis Simpson, Queen Elizabeth, and the entire royal succession that we enjoy today.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Our listener Crystal here has such an interesting ditch or date this weekend because it really sort of depends on what your definition of appropriate and creepy is. So ditch or date is you guys hit us up and you're like, you know what? Something's just not sitting right with me. Is it enough for me to ditch this guy or should I continue to date him? Hey, Crystal, good morning. You're on the Bert Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I've got a really weird one for you.
Yeah.
And I know that's saying something. So are you ready?
Especially on this show. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been dating this older guy for, a couple months. And older, I mean, I'm 31 and he's 47. And he's never been married, no kids, and lives I guess you'd say a pretty unconventional lifestyle. He's really fun, like spontaneous, and definitely keeps me on my toes. But last week, I discovered something that might be a little too eccentric. We were hanging out at this place where he casually mentioned that his maid's coming over. I'm like, okay, no big deal. So I offered to leave so she could clean. And he's like, no, you can stay. She won't mind. Then he adds, she's super professional and thorough. And I'm like, okay. So I've been thinking about getting cleaners for my place. And I asked him what the service is that he uses. And with a completely straight face, he says, neat and naked. And I was like, he's got to be joking. He was not joking. I immediately Googled neat and naked. And sure enough, there they are, naked and making rooms neat.
Neat and naked.
So
It's a thing.
Yeah, I just did a quick Google search because I had heard about a service like this, but I thought it was like only legal in a state or two. But if you Google naked maids, nakedcleanersforyou.com comes up and you can select from a whole bunch of different companies in the state that you are in.
I'm a little scared of the virus my computer's going to get if I Google that.
Right. Now you have to be 18 or over is what it says. But yeah, I guess you can do this in every state. Yeah.
This is really a thing.
Yes. Okay, go on.
All right. So I figure at this point I had two choices. Okay. I could leave and pretend I never heard him, or stay and witness whatever the hell was about to happen. So obviously curiosity won.
Heck yeah, it did. Okay, Abby, really quick. Hold on, Crystal. You're dating a guy and this.
Yeah, it's a deal breaker.
Okay, no, I'm not. That's not the question. That's not the question.
And it also could be a good side job.
Yeah.
Podcast hasn't made any cash.
I need it.
I don't know.
Economy is tough.
But no, so he says that. Yeah, so for me, yeah, probably deal breaker. But would you stay out of curiosity or would you bounce?
No, I'm breaking up with him and then I'm leaving.
You're not going to stay and see what it's all about?
Listen, I'm painfully heterosexual. I have no desire to see a naked woman.
I am so intrigued. Curiosity, I would have to know what this entails. Like, is she coming over and just taking like a little feather duster and doing like a boop, 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 boop? Or is like homegirl really getting in and like getting baseboards and stuff?
Yes. Well, at least according to him, he was telling her that she's really, really good at her job.
Well, I'm sure she is, and I'm sure he is very thorough in watching her be good at her job. And I think that's why I would leave, is because I don't want to watch him watching her, because then I'm just going to get kind of grossed out, because then I'm going to be like, watch you cheat on me. And then I'm going to wonder if you're expecting me to kind of join in on the fun. Like, I wonder if he has this fantasy that, like, if the naked maid comes over while my girlfriend's over, maybe there's going to be some more cleaning happening downstairs.
Crystal, downstairs and finger quotes.
Yeah, that's why the joke was made.
So I am losing the details of your story because I Googled it, and just as a sidebar here, the first things that come up for naked maids, naked cleaners and nude maids, Atlanta. The next one, steps in planning your new maid cleaning service. The next one after that, topless maids, Atlanta strippers. Neat and naked is indeed a service. KV nude cleaning. There are a ton. How to become a topless maid. There's a ton. Wow. I didn't even know this was an industry, really.
I had no clue.
Okay. All right, Crystal, go on. I'm sorry.
Okay, so when she shows up, she's like a completely normal looking woman, except she immediately strips down like it's the most natural thing in the world. Like, no hesitation, no awkwardness, just boom, fully naked, dusting the coffee table like it's like Downtown Abbey. And I was like, no, and you were right to question. She wasn't just like surface level cleaning, like dusting. This girl was getting her clean on.
She was?
Well, like completely new, like everything, but totally new. Baseboards underneath the couch, like, and meanwhile, my guy's just lounging there like it's, totally standard Wednesday afternoon. And
this is wild.
I'm like clutching my drink, and I felt like I was watching like a nature documentary or something. Fascinating. And then at one point, she asked me if I wanted a refill. Like, naked, holding my glass, living her best life.
This is so creepy to me on so many different levels, and I hate to be judgmental here, but here I go.
We listen and we don't judge, Herbert.
That's your saying. Just doesn't make good radio. Out there, I might be that guy. In here, I can't be. We get no ratings.
Yep.
So first of all, there are a couple of things, and I know the first one here is going to be controversial, but there are a lot of people that think, okay, dude's 47 years old, never been married. That sort of sometimes sets up like a red flag for some women. That's not the creepy part to me. This is so misogynistic and just so incredibly creepy that I feel like this is a character type thing. You're going to come into my house, you're going to clean my house naked, and I'm going to sit on the couch and watch you. Feels so gross to me. As a girlfriend, it speaks more about his character than anything else.
It wouldn't be my thing. I think it's weird, but how is it really any different from people who go to a strip club?
Well, if he said he was going to a strip club every day, I'd have the same opinion about it. However, this is somebody that's coming into his apartment while he is just sitting there while she's cleaning all of his... The whole thing just feels so icky to me.
The difference is, for me, is you have options. If you're going to a strip club, I think that's a completely other conversation. I personally wouldn't want my boyfriend to go to a strip club, but I get that that's a fun thing for some people. That's like a fun nighttime activity. This, you're coming into my house and you've got options. Like, you can choose between Nancy, the closed maid, or you can choose between Diamond, the woman who is coming with her boobs out. And to me, if you're choosing the option with her boobs out, it feels like you're going out of your way to make a very innocuous thing in your life already sexual and more perverse.
Oddly enough, I am not grossed out by this.
That is odd.
That is very weird.
I don't know why. I'm not grossed out by this because I think this is a fetish. This is a kink, and people have all kinds of kinks and fetishes. And basically, he's like, I need to find somebody to match my freak. So this is his freak. He needs to find a woman to match his freak. If this doesn't match your freak, Crystal, well, then you bounce.
I just think when you put it all together, and again, I know I'm sounding judgmental, 47 years old, never married, and his kink is to bring naked women over to his house to clean his house. All of it together collectively just seems odd to me.
If your kink is naked women cleaning your house, ask me to do it. Then I'll match your freak. But if that's not my freak, then I'll know that we're not compatible. It's the other person for me. You asking a strange woman to come into your house to clean it naked, that's the offense for me.
And there's nothing that goes further than this, Crystal, as far as you know. So they're just cleaning, and he never asks for, anything more than that.
No, that's what I was like, okay, well, maybe am I overreacting? Like, is this super weird, or is it just some like eccentric rich guy thing? I mean, like, should I I don't want to be, but I'm wondering, should I be concerned about his lifestyle choices, And I'm like, please help me make sense of this, because I'm not okay.
Well, I'll tell you what I think the bottom line here for you is it acceptable, or how rich is he? Is he private plane rich?
No, he's not private plane
dump him.
rich, but you said he had an apartment. No, he's got a big old house. So he's got money.
She's there for hours and hours, and he's following her from room to room and just sitting on the bed, sitting on a couch.
You gotta make sure she's doing a good job.
I don't know. I think this is a personal preference thing.
Yeah, I personally couldn't handle it. If I were you, girl, I'd ditch him.
I'm with Kristen on this one. If it's not your thing, that's understandable. But he just needs somebody to match his freak. I'm not judging.
I'm with Abby. Ditch.
Oh, I'm ditching too, because that ain't my freak.
Mo thought he had a partner. And
No, we're on the same page.
We're on the same page. If it's not her thing, I think she should ditch. But I'm not judging him for anything he's doing.
But you would ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my preference.
All right. There you go. All right, Crystal.
Okay.
Godspeed with that one.
But his apartment must be really, it's nice to go
his
over-
house. His house.
Yeah, his house. His house must be really it's nice to go to a man's house and it be clean.
That's a bonus.
You wouldn't feel bad about sitting on the toilet because the naked topless maid just came in and cleaned it.
That's a fact.
All right, so Kristen has raised $500 for Bert's Big Adventure. Speaking of selling out.
Listen, when a challenge is issued, I very rarely turn it down. And a challenge was issued on Twitter. If you recall, not that long ago, I was about to say broke in. I used the code to get into Bert's house.
You broke in.
And I took some items that we gave away / sold on the show for 1 penny. And there was a lucky winner of Bert's underwear.
Can I pause you for just 1 second there? So I got an absurdly amount of DMs from people that were really offended that you did this.
Oh, I'm sure. I saw the comments.
All right. Can I just tell you guys this? Kristen and I have been friends with each other for so long that this didn't bother me, not even a little bit. If we had a different relationship and we didn't know each other
Or like each other.
then it might, but let it go. Sometimes just, you know what? Don't be upset for me. Let me be upset if I'm going to be upset.
And if you're not upset, guess what? You shouldn't be upset either.
Right, man.
All right. So I went into the house, took some items, came on the air. Every hour we gave away some stuff. One of the hours we gave away a pair of Bert's underwear. Okay. And before it got mailed out, and it was so crazy because I literally caught our phone screener Amber before she walked down to the mailroom and snagged the box that I believe is going to Mary. I think Mary was the lucky winner of your Hanes black underwear.
Okay.
And because Rebecca, our social media director, sent me a comment. And the comment read from Tuon at 105GA on Twitter at The Bert Show. Since at Chris Kling stole at Bert Show Bert's drawers, I'll donate $500 to at Bert's Big Adventure if she remakes the Tom Cruise risky business dating scene and then before she mails them off. Now, for those that don't know, we have a nonprofit, Bert's Big Adventure, where we take kids with chronic and terminal illness down to Disney World. So, of course, why would I not shimmy in underwear to raise money for the kids? And that's exactly what I did.
Just take those old records on the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself. Today's music.
Now, if I believe back in the day, he did it in like tighty whities. These were not tighty whities. These are really bad underwear.
Well, I mean, they were still, it's still underwear, though, and they were very tight on me.
That's why I never wear these. I ordered them and never have worn them.
I put them on expecting them to be loose. They're not boxers. They're boxer briefs, but they are exceptionally tight. So I stole my husband's white button-up this morning. I walked out with the white button-up, and this man, we've been together so long, I've been doing stupid stuff for the radio so long, he didn't even ask me why I was taking a shirt. So I had planned on filming this at home, but couldn't really figure out how to do it. So this morning at work in the break room, Rebecca and I went in there and we filmed that entire sequence in Risky Business of Tom Cruise dancing to Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger. Now here's the rub, Tuon. Here's the deal. We got a screen grab. We got a photo of me doing the dance. Before we release said video, You need to pony up and show me the receipt of you donating $500 to Bert's Big Adventure.
Yep.
Once that receipt has been shown and you can prove you donated $500 to Bert's Big Adventure, the video will be released.
That seems like a fair deal to me.
I think so too.
Okay, thank you for doing that for Bert's Big Adventure.
That one hurt. I was really.
You came in here.
I did a move I didn't even know I could do.
Okay. We short kings need this win that Abby apparently is going to give us here in a couple of seconds, because I am in this algorithm now, man, where I'm not going to use the word depressing. It's a bummer, man. It really is. There seems to be more and more videos now of women just explaining why they're never going to go out with a short guy. I know, it sucks, man. It really, really does. And the sheer volume of them as a short guy, luckily I found the woman that I'm going to be with forever. But I mean, it's rough out there, man. It is really, really rough out there for short guys. And we know that also. So to see it in our face all the time, it gets to be kind of a bummer.
Do you want us to organize a 5K for you, but make it a 4K since your legs are shorter?
See?
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's
I thought she was really about to help.
That's very equitable of you.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe 3K.
Hashtag no short pay.
How about just 100 yards? What do you got?
The shortest 5K of all time, yeah. So this is from @Intels, not to be confused with @Incels on Instagram.
Can't let us have it.
They are saying that there's actually a benefit to being a short king that I think you'll actually be really excited about, because you talk about biohacking and wanting to extend your life expectancy and your quality of life longer, because they are saying that according to a study, life expectancy and height are inversely correlated. So studies are suggesting that men under 5'8" on average live about 5 years longer than men who are over 5'8".
So we get to... Yeah, right.
Hey, Johnny,
I get it, because think about it. With dogs, the big dogs die sooner than little dogs.
Do they?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the bigger the breed, they tend to not have as long of a lifespan.
So all I'm hearing is that we got 5 extra years to put up with all the crap that people talk about short people.
Well,
I know dealing with it is a bit of a tall order, but...
oh, wow. Yikes.
Hey, Bert, don't be so short-sighted on this, okay?
Oh, wow. Yeah, just keep stretching it.
Any more?
I know you got
a little bit of a Napoleon complex going on right now. I'm going to need you to calm down.
Okay. The tall guy's got the short end of the stick here with this one.
Yeah, I'm going to get that man a short temper.
Any more?
I'm sure there's a couple more, but I need a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Take a second.
No, we're good.
Go ahead.
You're good.
I love your mini tidbits of information.
Is that it?
Yeah, we have no more microaggressions for you.
Short and sweet.
It'll be
To the point.
It'll be over shortly.
Okay. The good news is this is going to be a one short man show. Come Monday. What a pain in the butt these toddlers can be sometimes. Huh?
Tell me about it.
Kristen's going to help you out with it here in just 1 second. But she and I were taking a look at this story that's gone viral this week, and neither one of us can figure out why it's such a big deal.
Yeah, I can't either, but it has picked up steam. So Steph Boyer is a 23-year-old influencer from Charleston. And she has become the center of attention because of what I thought was just a very innocuous, sweet gesture of somebody leaving a kind note to make somebody else feel good about their day.
I saw this because Steph is actually like one of the queens of book talk. I recognized her because she's given so many book reviews on the app. And when I saw this happen for her, I was like, oh my God, she's about to live like everyone's book talk fantasies that we've read about.
So this napkin that she received, she's at the Atlanta airport and she's sitting there with a friend waiting on her flight. And a pilot walks around and drops like a brown napkin that you would get from any of the fast food joints at an airport, and drops this napkin down in front of her and walks off.
Well,
she never even saw his face.
Before we continue with this story, some of these napkins at the airport are more valuable and romantic than others. Was this from Panda Express?
No.
Was it Zabaro?
No.
Okay.
There was no logo on it. It was just a plain brown napkin. Okay. Because that's important. So on the napkin, a note was written and it said, and it's good, I have seen the whole world, and you are the most beautiful human in it.
Oh my God.
Okay,
and
that's
then
a law.
like and then did a like an autograph or whatever. Like it was a signature, but it's not decipherable. Like you can't tell what the person's name is. So she takes like a quick video and posts it on TikTok, thinking like, oh, this is just cute or whatever. Here we are, 21 million views later. This thing has blown up. She's on Inside Edition. She's on People magazine. Like people are sending her all these articles because it hit a chord for whatever reason. And some of the comments that helped like garner this to 21 million. A lot of people thought it was fake that she wrote she wrote on the napkin. She's like, no, I did not. This is my friend Maya. She was there, blah, 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 whatever.
Well, I think anytime you're an influencer, people are just assuming that you're making up storylines to stay relevant, right?
And then some of the comments started rolling in. And then I think that's where this thing picked up steam. He's probably married with 5 kids. Another agreed, adding, he didn't leave a number because he's someone's husband. Somebody wrote, I feel like he just carries a stack of these in his pocket, a third commenter wrote. As an ex-flight attendant, totally sounds like something a married pilot would do. And this whole thing has taken on. I'm like, all homeboy wanted to do was tell her she's pretty.
Yeah, I gotta call BS on the napkin because I definitely believe a pilot wrote it. I definitely believe he dropped it off and meant what he said. But how are you going to call me the most beautiful person you've ever seen in your life and you're just going to walk out?
Yeah.
Like, if I see the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life, if Henry Cavill is at the Atlanta airport, I'm not just dropping off and being like, bye, see you never. I'm shooting my shot.
But maybe he thinks he doesn't have a shot.
Then I feel like you wouldn't have dropped off the napkin to begin with. You know what I
Unless you
mean?
just want to make somebody's day.
I mean, no, I feel like a man, if you actually felt that strongly, that's why I feel like he's done this to a million other girls. If you actually felt that strongly about it, I feel like you would have approached me and been like,
Now we know
are the
why it
most
went viral.
Yep, it's all making sense right in this moment.
See, I just poking holes in the story. Like, listen, I love this for her. She is a stunning girl. Like,
Stunning.
she is worthy of the compliment. Like, I'm not saying that she's not the most beautiful girl he's ever seen. I'm just saying, if I actually was, if you've seen the 7 wonders of the world and you're calling me the 8th, I feel like that garners a little bit more chutzpah, no?
I'm watching Mo, his head go back and forth between the two of you guys like this is a tennis match.
I'm thoroughly confused because so she actually is stunning, right?
She's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
She's 23, gorgeous, influencer. Has got like over 1 million followers on social media.
So you can see why he would leave it.
1,000%.
And he didn't leave a phone number or anything to be contacted.
Nope.
And yet all of these theories are coming out that he's married, he's this, he's that. And if he clearly didn't want anything from it and all he wanted to do was compliment her and keep it moving, I don't get, like, why is that not the end of it?
See, that's my reasoning. I can't believe I actually have the pilots back here because I know pilots are notorious and they're up there on the list when it comes to infidelity or whatever.
Sure.
But I really feel like this was just somebody trying to give somebody a compliment. And maybe it's because I also know the description that Maya gave because her friend, Steph's friend, saw him, but she didn't get a good look at his face, but she just got as he was walking away and she described him. And Steph is over here like, I'm not interested or whatever. She did a second video because she just wanted to apologize that it garnered so much attention. And she's like, I really just thought I was posting a video of a cute note that somebody left me. And I thought it was a lovely compliment.
It's because I think we're all super skeptical on anything that is going on online. So I sent Abby this story the other day. It was an influencer on Instagram. This dude that has the fake AI app.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah, to me that read as really funny marketing. For the Riz.
Yeah. So the app itself, do you want to explain what it is?
I watched it once. You brought it up.
It's this app that you show women, and it is a fake profile, essentially, that when they look at it and you're at a party, it looks like you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people watching your live feed, but they're not there at all. It's all fake. So you show women and you do selfies and they're like, oh my God, this guy must be important. And it kind of breaks the ice. And it's a fake AI app that any guy could use to try to impress a woman. So I think we're just in a stage now where we don't believe anything online is true.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, I don't feel like that's a real app. Now, if it is, I feel bad for the 22-year-olds it's going to work on. For me in my old age, I'm going to be like, put that phone down. I don't need 50,000 people looking at me.
But those are two different arguments. I can understand people being like, she wrote it. This is all for clout, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other argument that they're coming down on the pilot, calling him like a cheater and he's married with 5 kids and, Can't just somebody leave a compliment? It's just
Like in that scenario, the guy's trying to get something out of it. That
Yeah.
makes sense. He's trying to talk to the woman. In this scenario, he didn't try to talk to her. He didn't leave his number. He just gave a compliment and kept it pushing. Like what? Why are we making a thing of that?
Does it seem strange in this story that the pilot hasn't come out at all? I mean, this thing is all over the place, and that the pilot hasn't come out and gone, okay, you guys, it was me, and I just thought she was
he's
beautiful.
married. Why would he do that?
He didn't even want the girl to know who he was. I don't think he wants millions of people
No.
knowing he was the one to drop off that napkin.
which is why she did a second video apologizing, because it's like he never want. I can assure you he didn't want any of this attention. Why this blew up the way it did, I have no idea. But yeah, so
It's confusing, man. It is.
that's what we always joke in here, because we're like, what can we do to like really like make something go viral, and then something like this goes viral, and I'm like, I don't understand why this goes viral.
all I know is I'm going to the ATL airport today, and I'm not getting a napkin with a compliment. I'm going to get some dirty looks from men.
Okay, one more note about this pilot, right? And then we'll move on from it. Okay, and then we'll get to the toddler thing here, because Cassie and I have a disagreement going on here. So we're playing out this scenario. You want to explain really quickly again what we're talking about here?
Yeah, so a 23-year-old influencer from Charleston, Steph Bohr, is in the Atlanta airport sitting there with her girlfriend waiting on the flight. A pilot walks up, not her pilot of her flight. A pilot walks up, drops a brown napkin, and walks off.
He says he's ready to cheat on his wife with her.
That's not what he said.
Should have been.
She didn't see him. She doesn't know what his face looks like, nothing. Her friend got a quick glimpse of him and described him a little bit, but that is it. And this video she posted of this compliment napkin has gone viral, 21 million views and like surging. And the note read, I have seen the whole world, and you are the most beautiful human in it.
So out of nowhere, we're just sitting around doing our own thing. Kristen can't let it go. And she says in studio, like, why would somebody do that?
Like, what's the motive? Because Mo and I are like, okay, he's just giving a compliment because the guy walked off. He's not trying to pursue it. So we didn't think there was anything nefarious about it. So, but Abby was adamant that there was something like, there was something up with the note.
Well, I think this just speaks to the general mistrust that women have for men through experiences or people they know's experiences with men. And so I think when they see something like this happen, it's hard for us to just be giddy and excited about it because we know what's out there.
So one of the scenarios that Cassie was saying is that she thought maybe he was a married guy and he was just trying to pay somebody a compliment.
Yeah, I'm like, to me, if you don't leave your name or number, he's probably married, and I don't think it's bad. I just think from time to time, like I'm married and I might see like a gorgeous guy, and in my head I'm like, objectively, that man is very good looking. I don't want to hook up with him, but I have eyes. He's very good looking.
So, and then I said, in my eyes, that's cheating.
I don't.
Not the thought. Okay, if you think it like the dude is hot, whatever. Okay, you think he's good looking. But when you put on paper, and you're a married man, and you put on paper, you're the hottest thing I've ever seen in my. You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Way prettier than my wife. To me, that is a form of infidelity.
All right, so if it's on paper, infidelity. But what if somebody just pays somebody a verbal compliment?
That's where I was going. What if it's words? I've been in many a situation where women have said, like, I'm married, or if I wasn't married, you're a very attractive guy, but I'm married. Did she cheat?
If not cheating, because that seems like a harsh word, infidelity, certainly inappropriate.
I disagree. Even if it's on paper, I don't think it's inappropriate. Actually, in a way, it's nice because as the husband, you continue to choose your wife every day, knowing that there are other options out there. It's a strong relationship. So if my husband, Chad, got this message from like a female pilot, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but if he did, I would be like, dude, that's so great. I love that. I think it's the coolest thing ever. But if there's a name, a phone number, some kind of Snapchat or Instagram handle, then we're crossing the line into infidelity. But paying someone a compliment just to make them feel nice, even if you're married, I don't think it's a bad thing.
So if Chad comes home and he says that he did this to another woman, he either paid her the compliment. He's being 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know, I told a woman today she's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Or I left a note for her. You're not offended by that?
If he says she's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen, problem. Because we know I hold that title.
So what was the exact thing on the napkin?
I have seen the whole world, and you are the most beautiful human in it.
It's a lovely
He leaves
Pinterest
that.
quote.
Chad leaves that for another woman. And you're saying, oh, she should be complimented by that. That doesn't bother you?
No, you're right. The verbiage does you're the most beautiful, but if he said you're one of the most beautiful people in it, I genuinely, because he's open with me about it, I'm like, you're not hiding anything. I'm secure in our relationship. You choose me. And if you don't choose me, I don't want to be with someone who's going to cheat on me anyway.
I'd be so offended.
That's why I'm saying this guy's either a cheater or a total wussy. Because, like, how am I the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? And you're just walking off. Like, you're just leaving me. You're like taking this Pinterest quote that you found and you're just putting it on this note. And that, to me, other than the verbiage of I am the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life, you're comparing me to the Grand Canyon. And you're like, you're better looking than that. Your canyons are better than the ones in Arizona. Like, that, to me, writing it down has some kind of permanence to it. Like, if you're just saying something in passing, like, oh, you're just saying something objectively, like, oh, you're a beautiful girl, blah, 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 blah. To me, that feels just more like you're just making a statement. But if you're writing something down, again, back to the handwritten thing, you're putting in the effort, you've got your calligraphy on there.
It was scribbled on a napkin.
Either way.
From Sparrow.
If your lady came home and said she did this to a dude,
It'd be a problem.
be
But I think it's all inappropriate. I think saying it verbally is inappropriate, writing it down is inappropriate. It's all inappropriate to me. But so I agree with that part. I just don't think it's cheating.
Right,
But I think it's inappropriate.
Okay. All right, the toddler thing here.
Something.
I would feel like it was cheating though. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I would feel the same way. I would.
We just circled the block and
Yeah.
came back to the exact same spot we were at. All right, so when it comes to this little toddler hack I got for you, right? I have started to learn that the smallest of tweaks can make the biggest of differences, okay? And that's where I'm going with this. So I got myself an almost 4-year-old. He turns 4 March 22nd.
That's exciting.
I can't. It's the fact that I got a 4-year-old is blowing my mind right now. And he is precocious and he is hilarious. His default is happy. He's smiling 90% of the time. We laughter constantly, but he's a toddler and we have tantrums and we have moments where he does not listen. So I have tweaked one little phrase and I've actually seen it make a difference. So the scenario is he's not listening to me. I'm telling him to do something and he is not listening to me. And at that point, when I can't get him to listen or if he's being defiant in any way, shape, or form, that's the situation we find ourselves in, then that's where a threat comes in is if you don't stop doing blank or if you don't do blank, I'm going to take blank away. I'm going to take this away if you don't start or stop doing whatever you're doing. But I'm no longer doing that because I am not taking accountability for his actions. He needs to take accountability for his actions. Whatever he is or is not doing in that moment is not on me. It is on him. And it wasn't until I constantly kept getting called the meanie. Mommy, you're such a meanie. Mommy, why you be a meanie to me? That I was like, you know what? I'm not being a meanie. It's your actions that are causing you to lose this.
Ooh.
I'm not taking it away.
Yep.
You are losing it. So now instead of saying, and this was like just a couple of words, instead of saying, I'm going to take that away, I say, you're going to lose that if you don't start making good choices.
Ooh.
And the difference. And he actually sits there and he's thinking about what he's doing because then when I take it away, the focus has become on me taking away whatever it was rather than what he was doing to lose it. Mm-hmm. And it's been this small tweak. So now I make a conscious effort because it happens almost every day where there's an instant and I'm going to take something away. And then I stop myself and I go, Jimmy, if you don't listen to mama, you're going to lose the tablet or you're going to lose whatever. And then that's when they've really instilled at him at school, thank God, to make good choices. And I'll be like, are we making good choices right now? And he actually stops and he thinks and he takes accountability and it's been glorious.
Ooh.
We do something basically this too. It's drawing the conclusion, like letting them see that they're making a choice. So if Max, I'm like, please stop doing that. If he doesn't, I say, hey bro, you have a choice here. Okay. It's all up to you. You can choose to continue to do this, but if you do that, you're choosing to lose the tablet. It's on you. Or you can choose to stop and keep the tablet. Which would you like to do?
What if, Kristen, Jimmy took a crayon, found a napkin, and it said, "You're the prettiest mom I have ever seen," and gave it to another mom. How would you feel about that?
I would be crying.
He's not making good choices.
The Bert Show.